What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kai, and I'm back again with another episode of Shameless Kai Speaking. It feels so good to say that. It's been a long time. It's been about 6 months since my last episode aired, and there's been so much that has happened since that time. Like, so much. You know? Like, this is the first episode that I haven't really been able to freestyle with ease. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the first episode that's really taken me long to express. Like, mentally, I've been just like overthinking this shit, and like verbally, I just been all tongue tied up in it, and emotionally, I'm just like way too attached to it. I think because I'm just so invested in the fact that, I don't know, I'm grown as fuck now. Like, I'm grown as fuck now. Like, that's exciting. Like, I remember when I didn't give a fuck, you know? Like, I'm actually really paying attention to how it is that I need to balance my shit so I can move forward, you know what I'm saying? So I could take accountability for my motherfucking actions. You know what I mean? Like, wow. I'm grown. I'm grown. But anyway, but like, you know, and so this has been so much shit that's been happening, and I didn't really like rush this episode. And I had some friends like, yo, when, like, you still doing your podcast? And I'm like, yes, like, I'm still doing my podcast. I'm just, you know, like, I'm in the thick of it. like I'm coming on here telling y'all my life in a sense, you know, like, I'm being transparent in ways where I can be transparent. And being, you know, cryptic in ways where I need to be cryptic to respect people's privacy at the same time, but still be able to tell my motherfucking story. Okay? So, yes, y'all go get y'all snacks. Yo, like, let's catch up. You feel me? Like, for those of y'all that's new to this shit, hey, how you doing? I've been seeing my numbers go up and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, like, y'all so sweet. Like, y'all sweet as fuck. Like, y'all supported me. Like, I be having real ass conversations with y'all and shit. Like, y'all be sending emails and shit. Like, y'all dope as fuck. Like, thank you. This is crazy. But anyway, yeah, get your snacks, cause I'm gonna tell you what's up. Get your snack. Hey, get your snack. Hey, get your snack. Hey, get your snack. What you eating on? Some grapes? Nah, anyway, yeah, I jingle a lot. But anyway, yes, let's get started. Alright, so first things first. It is summer vacation here in the South, okay? And my shuggies, for those of y'all that don't know, them is my childrens. They home with me today. And for some months. Okay? Send help. They are home with me today. So if you hear baby screaming, ain't nobody dying. That's just Jezzy. You know what I'm saying? She the crazy one. And you know, they alright. They playing and stuff. So don't worry about it. They may come in here barging and banging on the door, but you know what? I gotta do what I gotta do. Because I can't get this house quiet and then still be in the mood to be able to come on this mic and do what I want to do. Okay? Because when the house is quiet, I want to take advantage of it being quiet, and I want to be quiet too. Because I've been waiting all day to not have to say nothing. So I don't want to then have to get on that mic and express. So I'm like, you know what? I got to figure out what works. And you know, hey, it's a shameless. So, you know, I got children and they make noise. Deal with it. All right. Cause I got to. Okay. So I'm going to try to stay focused. Okay. I'm going to try to stay focused, but you know, watch me balance my motherfucking emotions and my thoughts with these children when they interrupt. Cause goddamn. Okay. But anyway, I say all that to say they home. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, yeah, if you hear things jingling, it's just my jewelry. I wear lots. It's my shit. I don't want to change it. Oh well. But yeah, so balance, people. When I left off, I was talking about alchemy and all of that stuff, and how I need to start moving some things around in my life to really create better change for myself. Okay? Because even though I had gotten a lot of things that I wanted, you know what I mean? And I had achieved a lot, I still am a workaholic. I am. And I love what I do. And I just felt like I was having burnout after burnout, and I wasn't really feeling like I was seeing the type of rewards that I wanted to see for my effort. And that was because I wasn't allowing myself to rest. Initially, I would just keep going because I'm an energizer motherfucking bunny. So I needed to just enjoy the fruits of my labor, okay? And I wasn't doing that. I wasn't indulging in and treating myself properly the way that I feel that I should. I had things that, I wanted, but to really put intention into just enjoying my life, okay? Like I needed to start doing that again, which is crazy because before, when I had another major balancing type of moment, all right, we balance all the time, all day long, but I'm saying when you do it significantly, okay, like do it a lot with purpose. Like when the other time when I was like really balancing shit out for myself, I was feeling like I was too dormant and I wanted to do things more and have a more jam-packed schedule. So full circle, now I'm like, oh my God, I need to chill the fuck out. So anyway, so I went on this whole cleaning spree. And I just started cleaning things and getting rid of things and tossing shit out and giving clothes to my daughter if she wanted it because she's still in it anyway. Okay? Like, here, you could have it. And just giving it to her and donating pals and all kinds of things and just moving energy around because I felt weighed down by everything. Like I felt like I was that little bunny in Alice in Wonderland, and he's like, "But the time, I gotta go." Like I felt like that. Like the pressure was on, and what the fuck? And why? Like, and I'm not competing with anyone. It's just myself. Like I push myself so hard. Like I do. I am my own worst critic. I am my own best critic. I am on all the time. And then when I'm off, I'm a ghost. You know what I'm saying? And so I needed to just indulge in guilty pleasures and just cut loose and just be free again rather than so structured, right? So I was like, first things first, get rid of shit, feel lighter. That way I can just be flowy and airy and just do what I want to do, right? And so I started getting back out there after cleaning, and I started to meet new people, okay? And within meeting new people, I met someone, all right? And so for those of y'all that don't know, I am polyamorous. I am bisexual. Hey. I love the women. Yes. I've always been into women, always dated men, and always, you know what I'm saying, mess with them, all of that. But it was just always on a need to know basis. All right. If you ain't know me like that, you ain't really know like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you could kind of suspect something, but you ain't really know, because I wasn't really going to clarify for your ass neither, because you ain't had the balls to ask. And if you did, who knows if I trusted you if I was going to say something. But anyway. So, talking to my husband like, hey, yo, like, he knows, of course, he knows that I'm with the shits. And so I'm just like, okay, like, this is what I'm finna do, And he's like, all right. So I meet someone and we hit it off great. Okay. Like, it was a motherfucking romance. All right. It was intense. And I feel like I was having so much fun. By the way, we're not together now, okay? Me and this girl, we are not together anymore, okay? It lasted all about like 4 months, pretty much, all right? And I'm on here to tell my story, but I'm not on here to bash her. Y'all understand? So if you think you finna get some juicy ass, grimy ass tea, you not. But I am going to tell my story and my point of view. You heard me? Like, I'm not finna be doing that shit. However, I will speak my truth, okay? And I feel like I'm only saying this because I feel like this thought has been the thing that's been kind of holding me back from coming on here and even talking about this, because what I went through in this relationship and some shit that I realized and experienced, okay, it was major for how do I want to say it? It was major for where I'm going and what I needed to learn. You know, like everything has a reason, you know? And so I feel like piecing all this shit together, I feel maybe that was the lesson I needed to learn all along. The reason why things are flowing so great like they are now, you know? The reason why I'm back on the mic, you know? And so I just want to put that out there because in case she is listening, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't ever want her to have any sense of anxiety, like I'm finna be bashing her or anything, because no, absolutely not. However, this is my fucking truth. You heard me? So, back on track. So, it was a whirlwind ass fucking romance. It really was. Like, I finally felt like, okay, I got a friend and a lover in one, like, perfect mix, you know? And I felt like because when we met and initially how everything, my growth process through over the years and where my husband and I were in our, you know, in our marriage and in our friendship, even, like, I was in this phase of wanting to just be completely open and fair. All right. Completely open and fair all across the fucking board. Like, I don't want to have to keep any secret about, you know, I'm messing with her. I'm married to you. Like, the kids don't know, but she mommy friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so we not gonna let the kids know that she mommy girlfriend. She's just mommy's friend. And when she's around, I'm just gonna act like I didn't want to have that type of pressure anymore because, mind you, my kids didn't know for the longest that I smoke weed. Okay, I smoke all day, every day. All right, and they didn't know for the longest that I smoked weed, and because of how I would do it, and I had a whole routine, and I would tell people too that was around me, like, don't you fucking say shit about me smoking weed. And if they would say something, I would deny. Okay, like, mommy, don't do that. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Not me, not I. And so I got tired of having that too, because hello, I smoke. Like, smoking, that's my shit. That's how I create, you know what I'm saying? And it is my thing. Okay, and so I'm like, it's a part of me, they should know. They should definitely know, because I want them to be able to know their mother. Like, they should know. Nobody should be able to tell them about their mama, you know? And so I came up with a plan on how I was going to tell them. And so I told them one day, and they were like, oh, okay, well, what is it, you know? And so, like, I felt, you know, telling them, and they're just like, oh, okay. And so then I had to go through the weird phase of, like, if I'm being goofy or something, they're like, Mom, are you high? And I'm just like, no, you know, like, shut up. I'm like this all the time, god damn it. But anyway, back on track. I lost track because I'm lit. Anyway, so yes, I wanted to tell the kids, I wanted to be open with the kids as well. And so I just feel like everything happened too fucking quick. Okay? Too quick. And after her and I, like, we got, you know, we became official. They're chasing each other downstairs. They be scaring the fuck out of Jezzy. Oh my god, that shit be so funny. But anyway, after her and I got official, you know, shortly after, I'm like, okay, I need to let them know, because Lonnie's already at this age where she's nosy as fuck. Okay, my 12-year-old daughter is nosy as hell, and I remember being 12 and just thinking that I knew everything. Okay, and you can hide shit from me, none of that. And that is where she's at. And so her and I have conversations all the time, and so she knew that I messed with women before. I swear my kids aren't dying. I swear they're not. Oh, sorry guys. Oh god damn. Oh gosh. Anyway, so she knew I messed with women before. She knew I messed with women before. And so, you know, because she had questions about her own, you know, sexuality. So I'm telling her, like, it's okay to question, just talk to me about it, you know. So I felt like I needed to have an intimate moment with her and share that piece of myself, so she didn't feel like she was weird, you know. So she kind of knew that already about her mom. So now meeting this new person, I'm like, okay, she's gonna be around more. Like, we're really, really attached to each other, and I definitely want her to not have to sit here and speculate anything, you know. So I told Lonnie, and Lonnie knew, and she was like, I figured, you know, like, it was simple. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. And she's like, yeah, she's like, I figured, she cool, like, I figured. So that was out of the way. And so over the weeks, like, you know, the youngins knew. Of course, Jezzy, she don't fucking know. Jezzy don't know, you know, but JJ, you know, like, JJ knew. And so I'm like, okay. And I just feel like because of the rate and everything on how quickly it was moving, and with my husband even, like, I feel like it was too much too soon. And by the time it had gained so much momentum, and I realized kind of early on, like, it was a little fast paced, but I was so in the moment and was like, fuck it, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, I'm not a quitter, so, you know, I'm just gonna make it work. Whatever problems we got, like, it's a learning curve, like, you know what I'm saying. And so it became to the point where I was trying to be open and honest with both partners and be fair, to where I was just continuing to burn myself out, because I felt like within balancing everything, you know, work, home, you know, both partners, my own self, and the things that I personally need in order to fucking thrive on a daily basis, you know, I felt like if I give equal parts to every fucking body, then it should be good. But it's like, at the end of the day, I ain't have no fucking shit for myself. You feel me? Like, I already wake up. For those of y'all that don't know, I wake up dumbass early, like 3-4 in the morning every fucking day. Okay? And so I am up and I am handling my day. My day has been planned the night before I lay my head down, because I am just anal that way. And everything that I need to get done, I do it at a certain, like, I do it free flowing, but it needs to be done that day, or at least, you know, majority of the shit on that list needs to be accomplished or be working on. It's just how I am. And so it's just like, okay, I have a certain amount of hours in a day that I need to get certain things done, and I'm not allocating my energy properly to these things, and so I'm burning out. And so now people, my partners, okay, my husband and my girl at the time, are looking at me like, yo, you're not giving me the same shit you was giving me before. And I'm looking at them like, motherfucker, I know. Like, and we are just like, it is just fighting on both sides. And I'm like, at the point where I'm just like, fuck both y'all. Okay? Because this is some shit. Like, everybody talking about me. Well, what about me? Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, is anybody stop to say, hey, what does Kai want? You know, like, and then, but they're looking at me like, but you said you wanted this. And I'm just like, oh, wow. Okay. So I'm like, it was a lot, like, you know, but even within it being a lot, I feel like I had this sense of calm because I knew it was a learning curve. And I know they were sick as fuck with me by saying, like, these are learning curves. Like, you know, like, I felt like with my husband, me saying that with him all the time was, you know, like, we've been in a situation like this where I've been messing with women, and, you know, and he's, you know, we be doing our thing, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, I've messed with women, but, you know, they were friends, you know what I'm saying? And so they didn't really have this major of a role, I guess, in his eyes, as, you know, she was having. And so he had his own questions about it too, like, you know, like, let's just make sure, like, everything is good, like, you know, everybody just calm down, like, let's not go too quick. And I'm just like, you know, you only live once, you know what I'm saying? And so he was feeling some type of way, and I had to respect that, because it's been me and him since for fucking ever. And even though he's been in this situation with me before, it was just very, very different. And so with her, even, you know, she has her own shit, and so it was like I started off real hot and heavy with her, like, and I'm passionate as fuck. I am intense. Okay, I'm intense when I want to be, and I don't give a fuck when I want to be. Okay, and so it's like, I get it. When we first started off, the first couple months, it was gravy. Like, everything was intense and this and this and that. But I also had a lot of free time too, because that was kind of what I set out to do when we met. You know, like, I was in that zone. Like, I was taking a break with work even. Like, being a freelance artist, you don't always get work all the time. Like, you have seasons of when it's like just an overflow, and then you have like dry spells, and I was kind of in a dry spell, like, no lie. So I'm just like, okay, like, I got my little coins that I have stacked and shit that I could play with, but at the end of the day, like, I'm supposed to be resting right now, so let me overindulge. And I felt like being open and honest in the beginning when our relationship started, and I told her that I could go ghost sometimes, and I told her like I could be detached sometimes, and that, you know, I'd be really invested in, you know, in my craft and my work and shit like that. Like, I thought that that would make up for when I needed to retreat and go back to doing what the fuck I needed to do. Mind you, I'm still here. It's just that you're not getting my full undivided attention that like you once were, when I ain't have that much shit to do throughout the day, rather than normal house mommy routines and making sure orders are being pushed out when they're, you know, when they're being submitted, little things like that. But I wasn't in a creative flow at that time. I was having a creative burnout, right? Like, she met me during my creative burnout, and so I'm overindulging to live, because as an artist, for me, my work comes through experience. Like, if I'm not out living and experiencing shit, then I don't really have that much shit to create. I mean, I could journal, I could blog, I could do that, but I get my creative spark and my passion and my ideas being out amongst people, being out living, being out, period, just doing things, you know, and then being able to retreat and let it instill and let it even have time to build momentum to even come into something artistic, you know. And so I feel like I felt like I was straying too far away from like the essence of who I was, because I was pouring myself into so many cups, right? And I was getting upset with myself because here I go again. Here I go again after I just got done leveling out shit and feeling heavy and getting rid of shit so I could feel like now I'm adding shit onto my plate and I feel heavy. And I keep trying to tell both people how I'm feeling and nobody's listening to me. Woe is me, right? And so I had to just like be like, you know what, everything around me is happening this way because I caused it to happen this way. I did. And I started to realize, you know, when you noticed that you were feeling this way because your husband said this, or, you know, this person said that, you held it in. And you held it in and you didn't say anything, and then you let it pile up and you decided to go spend a little extra time over here with your girl that day. You know what I'm saying? Being petty. You know what I mean? And then vice versa. You know, like, if she said something that really ticked me off, then you know what? I'm going to retreat and let things die down because I don't feel like dealing with confrontation. I am not a confrontational person. And that's when I start realizing, okay, that's the problem. I'm not confrontational, even though I will tell you what the fuck I need to say when I need to say it. However, it is either the first time or it's the last time. Ain't no in between with Kai. Okay? Even though I live in the in between, but that's where I'm at. So you ain't gonna come over here where I'm at fucking up my shit, is how I feel, right? So I didn't want to repeat myself sometimes. I didn't want to have to dive deeper into certain emotions and things like that, because I'm a person that likes, like I said in my control freak episode, I'm a person that likes to deal with my shit and my shit only. I don't want you touching my shit. If my mind is flustered, give me a minute. You know what I'm saying? Let my emotions figure some shit out. Let me come back to myself and let me get level-headed and we could talk. Or if my emotions are all over the place, give me a minute. You know what I'm saying? Let my emotions have their moment. Let it flow through me. And let my thoughts gather themselves so I can now give myself a fucking pep talk. And I realize that being in relationships, all right, I'm laughing because I'm laughing at myself, that being in relationships, you can't always be so introverted in that way. And see, this is just the tip that I have about life, baby, because I like to deal with my own shit. I am addicted to dealing with my own shit. And I notice that once I deal with it on my own, right? I process the shit on my own and go through all of that stuff and I come back better. Motherfuckers is like, how? And I'm like, I dealt with it. But they're like, how? Because they feel like if we had a problem together initially, how the fuck you deal with it on your own? But to me, I'm like, I dealt with it. It was my issue. I dealt with my side. I dealt with my side. Like, you dealing with yours so we can come back to the table and, you know what I'm saying, move forward, or, you know, like, and no, like, people real life want to work shit out together, and I'm for it. I am for it, but it takes a certain vulnerability, okay, to do that. And though I have no problem with being vulnerable, hello, I'm on the mic telling y'all my motherfucking business. Like, I have no problem with being vulnerable, guys. My problem is the trust level, okay? Like, there's layers to this shit. Like, how deep do you want to go in this vulnerability ocean that I am in? That is me. That is we. That is the shit. Okay, like, how deep do you want to go? She's screaming again. She's crazy. And so it's just like, it takes trust to do that. And I felt like where I was at with her, I couldn't go past a certain point, because it's like, there's already things that are showing me that it may not be a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was a more emotional based person and I was more logical. Though I definitely sense and feel everything, I'm very intuitive, very sensitive to all shit. I feel with my emotion, but I respond and I move with logic. You know? And so it's like, it was different, where she would instill things and really dive deep into them deeply with her emotion. But to me, on the outside looking in, I'm like, you're drowning. You're gonna drown in it. Don't drown in it. You know, and it's like, I just want to be free. I want to be flowy. I don't want things weighing me down and to drown in and to keep trying to find certain connected dots that feels heavy to me already. I don't want to do it. So I'm all about forward movement and how the fuck I can get up out of it. You know? And so it's like, the way we were looking at things and going about things just wasn't working. So if we're having arguments and different things like that on both sides, even with my husband, like, my husband is very, very, very fiery. Like, he's very fiery and I'm fiery as well, but the aspect to me is, I'll let you air your shit out. I'll let you burn out before I say anything. After a certain point, oh yeah, you gonna calm down, because I'm not giving nothing else, and I will just stone cold you, and all that does is flare him up more. and so it's like, I get that, and sometimes, you know, I won't be able to say something. I won't be able to be still or be quiet, and, you know, he'll get so upset, and he knows, of course, messing with each other and being married with each other for so many years, we know each other's triggers. So he'll say something to trigger me, and I'll whoa, and just, you know what I'm saying, it just be all thunder and lightning in here, you know, like, it be just it be bad. But it's like, we're still talking to each other, but I don't like to communicate that way. I don't like to be confrontational in that way. And when I am feeling and sensing and overwhelmed with things that I need to let sit, and I'm trying to hear you, and I'm trying to instill what it is that you're trying to say, and I'm trying to balance my own shit and make sure that everything that you're saying doesn't get in the way of what I need to create at the same time. And now my head is fucked up. Like, it was just too much. So I started to withdraw. And with withdrawing, I started to be able to be more creative again. And so I noticed that once I started to be more and more creative and in my element and feeling good, my home life would calm down. me and my husband would be cool, but me and my girl would be fighting. You know, like, and it was weird. Like, I'm like, okay, hold up. And so it's like I'm holding on to her into the situation because I'm like, we could work this out. Like, both of us, like, we breaking up, we getting back, we breaking up, we getting back. Like, it was, I've never been broken up with so many times in my life. I haven't, just being honest. Never been broken up with so many times in my life, and then got right back. Like, it was a lot, like, you know. And so I'm just telling her, like, we don't have to keep doing this. Like, we don't have to keep fighting in this way. Like, we could definitely just be friends, and we can definitely focus on our friendship. And I feel like with both of us, though, we, like, with me, I'm like, you know, I could be your friend and still, you know, you know. And so she's just like, no. Like, I'm just like, okay, but yeah, that's where we at. Like, because I just felt like that there's something that happens when we're trying to be, you know, one with each other, that in this way that it's causing friction. And in my opinion, I felt like with the friend title, you know, it would cause a little more relaxing, I don't know, it would just kind of bring a more cool down vibe to everything, because everything was so intense. And so if I didn't respond immediately, or if she didn't respond immediately or anything, it would be fine, because that's my partner. And she doing her life, and she handling her business, and she gonna hit me back. But it's something about a switch when that's my girl and she not answering that. It pissed me off and it pissed her off, you know? And so me being pissed off, either I'm gonna go about my business and go do what I gotta do. But then when you reach back out, like, I'm busy, like, and I'm real life busy, and I'm gonna get back to you. Like, now I don't want to get pulled away from what I'm doing because you finally reached out, even though I'm happy you did. And so it's like, I wasn't confronting really my thoughts on everything, because I was realizing and connecting the dots and being like, oh, okay, like, gotcha, noted, and then moving forward. And she couldn't handle that shit and was just like, that's not normal. And I'm like, but it is to me. Like, this is how I fucking work, and this is how you work. But I'm not telling you that you can't process the way that you need to process, but this is how I process. And overall, it ended nasty as fuck, you know? And with it slowly dying out, work and everything like that I have been praying for and have been asking for and have been waiting on started to come through. And so I'm like, you know what? Maybe this phase, maybe this time, it's time to let it go. Because if my home life is cool and secure when I'm doing what I normally do, when I'm in my element, drawing and creating, and, you know what I'm saying, having time to ghost, like, even I be on ghost mode in the house too, y'all. Like, I real life do. Like, I need time to just be able to be in my solitude. Hello, Billie Holiday. Yes, I need to be in my solitude. I really do. I need it. And it's the way I grew up. Like, I'm so used to just me, myself, and my thoughts and my beats, you know, like, and drawing and stuff. Like, I'm so used to that. Like, that is how I zen. And if I don't get it, I am not somebody you want to fuck with. Like, I am just, and I'm not nasty. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't say malicious shit. Like, when I'm realizing that being older, like, when I was younger, I used to say malicious shit and do, like, malicious. Hello, big teeth, little lips. Malicious. Got it. Things out of anger, you know? And I don't do that anymore. However, I will ice your ass out. I will ice you out, because that is my way of delivering grace upon thee who threaten me with your words. Ooh wee. Okay? I am not about to sit here and get a word for word battle with you, because I nicknamed myself a word assassin. And if I come in, I'm coming for your throat. All right? I'm going to tear you down. I know that about myself. I know it. And so I go quiet, because I need to. I got kids. All right, it's too many people out here getting shot and being killed and being all this disruptive shit because they trying to get their point across and the other person don't like what they saying. But you had the audacity to treat me and say this shit to me. But when I come back at you with some hot fire, you can't take it. Like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'd just rather not even fucking go there with you. Like, I'd rather not. And so I do that shit to my husband too. And so it's like we weren't really going anywhere. So one thing with my husband was, I feel like coming out of this shit, and myself even, like, I wish her the best. I do. Completely. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like him and I are good, and we're in a better understanding of each other, and he's in a better understanding of me too. He's gotten to experience me with somebody else like that out in the open and seeing how I handled it, you know. And even though it ended completely ugly, I still feel like amongst all the ugly shit, there was so much beauty in everything that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will have memories that I will fucking cherish for fucking ever. You feel me? And my husband and I have had growth within each other, and it's opened up even more conversations for us to have that I've always wanted to have, but maybe he wasn't ready for it because of the kids not knowing how mommy is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like he's caring about that. And hello, like, we both have careers. Like, you know, it's important that we're doing this tastefully. But I explained to him that, you know what, in order for me to really feel that I'm living my full potential, I need to be able to experience all things that, you know, spark interest within me. And I need to be able to figure out where his boundaries are, and I need to be able to let him know where my boundaries are, and we need to come on an agreement with it. And so I feel like it really, really, really was beneficial for that, being open and doing it the way I was, and as abruptly the way that I was. It kind of bypassed months of maybe what could be really bad, you know, and or it could have been really, really good, but who knows. But right now I know how it ended. This is where I'm at, and this is what I'm taking from it. And so with that, because I had more time to be in my craft, I was able to have more energy as well, and to be present for more work opportunities. Probably work opportunities that I wouldn't have been able to take because I would have been burnt out by spending so much time with two people separately at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so where I would have been running on E, I'm real rested finally, you know, and I'm focused again, and I'm in the groove. I'm back in the gym. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, you know, like, I'm like, okay, I'm back on the horse. Like, I'm back. And so I ended up, of course, last year I had already started working with my old 6th grade teacher, Miss Jones. For those of y'all that went to elementary school with me, y'all remember Miss Jones? Well, she's Dr. Shelley Jones Holt now, baby. Okay. And so she founded this company called Leadership Legacy Consulting. And so she's an anti-racist educator, and she goes around and teaches courageous leadership courses on teaching people how to be culturally proficient, and how to basically have racial equity, and have all these deep, hard conversations, really heavy conversations with people about why it is that people of color are being treated this way, and how to basically undo it. And so she welcomed me in to work side by side with her. So I've been, you know, going to classes with her and watching her teach, and on the sidelines also been hired to do a lot of her graphic design and her marketing and stuff. And so it's been really, really great, because our two businesses mirroring, you know, well, being pretty parallel with each other, you know, mine being about self-expression and authenticity, and hers being about really self-acceptance as well, and not, you know, playing the victim or shame or blaming anybody into doing anything, and to just basically take accountability and to learn your history and pay that shit forward and do what's right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to see her do it, and to be making the coin that she's doing, and to have the reach that she's doing, and how she's doing it, it's been a cool experience for me, because I've been able to, you know, meet new people and network with people who are also, you know, have deeper pockets than me. Let's be real. And that was the whole purpose. I wanted to be able to create some significant change for myself and my family, right? I wanted to be able to make sure that my husband, if he don't want to ever work, he doesn't have to. You know what I mean? Like, we had an agreement, okay, marrying and before we even got married, and I told him I always wanted to be the mom that got to go on the field trips. I always wanted to be the mom that was a part of the PTA, okay, and that brought in sandwiches and shit for the class and was there all the time, and we didn't have to worry about childcare. And I wanted to be able to make sure that the kids felt loved and they always had a parent that was accessible to them, because I did not grow up that way. I had divorced parents and they both worked, and my dad lived about like 300-400 miles away in LA, and I was in the Bay. Okay. And so I didn't have that type of support like that. I had friends, you know what I mean? But I didn't have any family support around. And I wanted to make sure that I broke that chain for my kids growing up, and I was there. And so he was more than fine with it. And so I would have jobs like here and there, and I would do my little side hustle to bring in money for me to do any extra things with the kids or myself or for the family. But it just wasn't enough anymore for me. You know, like my kids are getting to that point now where it's like, okay, I am not a homebody at all. So we go through things of being like, I cannot be at home any fucking more, you know, like, and so I would always be doing crafts and shit like that and selling shit on the side. But it's just like, I want to do this on a grander scheme. Like, I want to do this bigger, you know, I have dreams, and now it's time for me to, you know, start putting in that action and putting in that work. And he was like, if you ready, I'm ready. So we made a pact by, you know, 2025, you know what I'm saying, that roles could be reversed. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna be a sugar mama, and it's the I said the I'm finna be your sugar mama, babe. He's like, oh my god. But no, like, real talk, like, so that because I plan on us traveling a lot more than what we've traveled, and he's allowed us to do, you know what I'm saying? And we got dreams, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to see the globe, all right, and I'm trying to bring my family with me. I want to live in all kind of places. I want to eat weird food. I just want to experience culture. I want it. And in order to do that, I need to have a free type of work environment too, so I could make money everywhere. And that's what the fuck I'm building, and it is growing, you know? And so it's like, thank God, you know? So it's like I'm on track. So it's like, despite the bullshit, once again, it's like, damn, I'm still on track though, so it's all good, you know? And so I'm like, all right, a takeaway from that is balancing ain't fair. All right? It's not. I don't know why the fuck I thought that balancing would be fair, because it isn't. It's not fair at all. All right? So I know that. And I also know that if I want something, I'm going to have to, you know, speak up about it maybe more than once. You know, I can't get upset that I said it maybe, you know, once or twice, you know, and I'm gonna have to really instill it and be very, very, very demanding about what it is that I want, but be creative and still be my gracious self in the asking or in the demanding. Okay. And it's just like, that's good, you know, and I've realized now that going into it, because of course I'm still going to be continuing to date women. That's just a part of me. But going into it, I know the things that I do and don't want. And I know where my boundaries are, you know, and it's just like all around, it's still a win-win, yo. You know what I mean? And so I feel like that's kind of the greatest thing about the realizations that I'm having right now, because now it's like, wow, in the span of 6 months, though I felt like I was in the thick of some shit and was clouded by, you know, overindulgent type of behaviors, that I was still chugging along and still moving along my path. So it kind of made me feel like, it makes me feel right now, I should say, very grateful, very thankful that I continue to listen to myself, and I continue to trust my intuition. And, starting Shameless Ab 2 years ago, like, for the growth that it's had. Like, I've been able to help so many companies within this past 6 months grow, like, with websites and logos and things like that I wasn't even doing before. And it's just like, whoa, like, when you really stop to look back and just be like, wow, like, I'm actually doing it. Like, I'm doing it. And this is, and it's like, I started a podcast just because I was in the pandemic and I was bored and I wanted to talk. But I wanted to talk about certain things, and I didn't have a lot of people to talk about those things with. So I pushed record and hope that people would start listening, and they did. And so now I'm having conversations about things I wanted to talk about, and so it's just like, wow, if you just keep going, keep following shit that you really want to do, and keep putting passion and energy in it, no matter how many times you get knocked down, like, you will fucking get there, and you will look back and be like, wow, I built a lot of stuff, and not feel heavy about it, because you're not so worried about the outcome, or not so worried about trying to make things fair for everybody. You're just kind of living and doing and flowing and freeing and doing what you got to do. So I feel good. I do. I really do. I feel good. Like, I'm booking work trips. Like, your girl flying for work. I said she flying. Ain't she flying for work? I say, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, from a startup. That's major to me. It might not be major to y'all, but it is for me. But, somebody else may be, like, finally selling cookies that they've been baking, and it took forever for them to learn how to fucking bake. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless, make it apply. Make it fit to your story. But I'm just saying, like, being in this phase now, like, wow, and being able to finally be the one that, all of my money is going into our summer vacations. It ain't combined money. It's just mommy being like, I'ma spoil y'all. Like, like, that feels good. It feels good, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. So I'm like, wow, not only did I get to stay home with my sugies and be that parent and be in every motherfucking thing that they got going on, and I also get to live out my dreams and keep pursuing my dreams and keep building brick by brick. Oh shit, I'm building brick by brick. Hey, oh shit. So I'm just like, I'm feeling excited, y'all. Like, I am, like, the sun coming out and shit, like, oh my god. So I don't know, like, that's how I feel. And but yeah, y'all, like, I got a lot of different things coming up, and I don't want to speak too much about it, because y'all know I don't like spreading the energy out until it's cultivated and it's ready. But I'ma just say, your girl been on some people's podcasts, and I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud that I'm finally doing this episode and getting it out of the way, because now I can start welcoming people onto mine. And me and my husband been wanting to do recordings all the time, because we just be talking about everything under the sun, and we just want to press record and just let y'all listen to the shit that we be talking about. And I felt like because of the way I set my podcast up, I needed to get certain things out, like, off my chest, and this is pretty much the last thing I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? After this, I'm gonna just be free flowing. So my episodes, they may be random and they may be not, but it's just, that's where I'm at with it, because I'm just gonna have so many things going on that I want to be able to touch on so many different topics, and so much expansive shit. And so it's just really great. So I don't know, that's about it, y'all. I'm a little tired. I want to go outside in the sun. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's coming out and it's intriguing, and I want to go in it and get off this mic. But I say all this to say, I feel like the takeaway is, for me in this experience, is learning that balancing is not fair, and that as long as I'm being fair within myself and my desires and my needs and the things that I require in order to function, and being understanding and compromising to an extent that does not deplete me of my true essence, then I'm good. Things will balance itself out. I feel like when I don't try to push, there's not a lot of resistance to anything, and I'm able to kind of drift into the next thing after the next thing after the next thing with grace and little to no restrictions. And I feel like that feels good for me. And so I feel like moving forward, I'm just gonna keep trying to keep that in my heart and in my brain, that, you know what I'm saying, what's for me will be for me in the long run. And that I won't have to force anything to make it fit, and anybody else won't have to force me to make me fit. And if it is friction in the moment, then it is growing pains, but to just loosen the grip on it a little bit, and just let everything kind of ripple back into its natural state and try again, and if it flares back up again, then it ain't for you, boo. Because what's for your energy will always be for your energy, and it will rock with you heavy. And I feel like that's all things all across the board, and that's on Mary Had a Little Motherfucking Lamb. Okay? That goes for work, that goes for love, that goes for foods you put in your body. If your stomach start fucking up and shit, it's because it ain't supposed to be in there. Alright? And it's just like, as above, so below. And it's crazy because you hear these little words and these little phrases and these little shenanigans that these old folks were saying when we were younger. And it's just like, oh, that shit makes sense. It's like I need some seasoning on my ears to make sense so that everything instilled properly. Like my Brita filter was a little clogged or something. I don't know. It ain't filtered right now, but it finally filtered, yay. But it's just like, I get it, and I'm just enjoying knowing that ultimately anything that I put out comes back. And so I've just been really focused on moving with dignity at all costs and being true to myself. And if that ruffles some feathers, then it ruffle your feather. You know what I'm saying? Let me be the air beneath your wings then, my nigga. But it's just like, like it is what it is. I mean, everybody ain't gonna get along all the time. Everything ain't gonna be fair all the time. You know what I'm saying? Just figure out where you fit in and still be yourself and keep pushing forward, and shit's gonna balance itself out with time. And so I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful that I feel like one of the major things and other lessons that I'm learning is I've also have been in the habit of being self-sacrificial to people and relationships because of, I wouldn't say people pleasing, but I just want to always make sure that people are okay. And I always want to make sure that people feel good. And I always want to make sure that people feel safe and that, they're having a good time. And sometimes being empathetic to things like that and being oversensitive to things like that can be very self-sacrificing for people, myself included. And so you kind of carry and bear the weight of other people's shit because you took on that role. And so with doing that too many times, you kind of lose the momentum for your own shit and the drive for your own shit. And that was a pattern that I was telling myself, as you guys can remember in other episodes, that I wanted to break. And I feel like we always talk about it all the time, that in order for you to really move forward in life and to experience newer heights in life, that you're going to be tested time and time again, and you're going to come across people and situations and all kind of things that have similar lessons or similar traits or whatever to things that you need to do better this time with, and I feel like I did for me. Even though it didn't work out the way I thought it would, I feel like I did for me. Like, I feel like even my over self-indulgent relaxation phase got a little crazy. Got a little crazy. Sometimes I could get a little crazy. But, nigga, you ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry, I couldn't say that part without saying it. Oh, God. Anyway, for y'all don't know. Those of y'all that don't know, that's a movie reference from what's it? Don't Be a Menace. But Don't Be a Menace to Society or something like that with the Wayans brothers. Oh shit, that shit is guts. Anyways, I just feel like it's all good. Like, I've learned my lessons, and I've instilled it, and I'm glad that I didn't wallow in anything, and I'm glad that I didn't get stuck I've gotten in past situations, or dealing with friendships even, when stuff doesn't go your way, or you feel like, oh shit, we're not talking anymore. Like, it used to really, really beat me up. And I'm glad, because I feel like this was kind of a test that was like, okay, let's see, before you get all this major shit you really been wanting, if you have an overindulgent phase, can you reel yourself back in? You know what I'm saying? Like, God was like, if I bless you with all the shit you be asking for all the fucking time, because you always be asking for shit, Kyla. Okay? You always be asking for shit, Kyla. If I bless you with everything that you want, give you everything at once, and get you overly stimulated, and just have you burnt out and all that shit, will you realize that you burnt out? Will you realize that you need to adjust some shit, and that you need to get back on track? And will you do it without bitching and complaining? Will you? Will you? And if you do, how long will you do it? Will you get back on the ball? And I feel like I did. And I feel like he like, I see you, my nigga. And I be like, I passed it. I passed it. Like, that's what I'm taking away from it. Because other situations like this, I would have been fucked up in the sauce. Okay? Like, even overthinking anything about what my husband's thinking now. Like, and we are Gucci. So work life is great, home life is great, and I feel like I'm still gonna have a great ass summer. I got trips planned, and you know what I'm saying, it's just like, I'm finna turn the fuck up, and I'm still gonna live my life, and it's gonna be great, because everything is strategic, and everything is in its place, and everything, I'm just gonna flow from one thing to the next. And it's like I've gotten into a good groove now of working and resting, and working and resting. And if I need to spend extra hours creating, then knowing the next day I may need to rest a little bit more. Like, I have finally found a good rhythm, and I'm sticking with it. That is what I'm taking away from this shit. I'm sticking with it. All right, so your girl is back. I feel good. If y'all see my little chakra drawings and stuff like that I've been posting on my website and on IG, those was basically what I was feeling in those moments. And if anybody knows about chakras, you know what I'm saying, just Google it. But if anybody knows, the different colors are, associated with feeling and stuff like that. And so I'm even proud of that, even, and I'm just like, I wouldn't have been doing that shit had I not been doing this, so it's just like, and that's making me money. So this is, everything just come full circle, and it's great. So I hope everybody out there, despite all the bullshit that's going on in the media, I hope that, y'all really doing something that make y'all feel alive and make y'all nipples hard. You know what I mean? Like, I really hope that y'all doing shit to make you tingle on the inside, okay? Make you clench a little bit. Clink, clink. Like, I hope you are doing things that excite you to the fucking core, despite all the bullshit that goes on in the world. Find it for yourself. I'm so serious. It will just make so much things so much easier, because we cannot control the motherfuckers around us at all. And though we can play our part to try to better humanity, until everybody get on board, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna feel like a solo fight sometimes, and it's just, make sure that you put your armor down a little bit and rest in areas where you feel safe to. And to just restore your energy and love it on yourself, and really sit back and admire life. Like, you woke up this morning, motherfucker, like, you listening to me babble on this podcast. Like, you are extremely blessed, no matter any bullshit that you go through. And don't force things. Like, so, few announcements. That's my spiel, but few announcements. Couple websites y'all can check out, okay, is www.leadership legacy consulting, and that's Dr. Shelley Jones' whole website, where you can take courses and learn about racial equity and all that good shit. Like, it's good shit, guys, okay? Check that out. And then there's a nonprofit that I'm in with her and her family, the Family Legacy 5. So that's www.familylegacy5.com, and be looking out for that, because we're going to do racial empathy tours, and we're going to have retreats and courses, and it's all family based, and we giving back, and it's just going to be great. Like, we have little apprenticeships that kids could take to learn skills and stuff like that, tailored to wherever kind of career profession that they want to go into. And I mean, it is really, it's gonna be so good, guys. Like, it's really good work, and we definitely need this in order to keep expanding and creating legacies for our family, really, because that's what it's all about, right? You want to be able to leave shit for your family. You know, you don't want your family, your kids, your little sugies, you don't want them motherfuckers to be going through the stuff that you went through in order to get here. You know, you want them to know grind and hustle and grit and all that good shit, but you don't want them to have to be building from dirt. You want them to have a good solid foundation that they could add to when it's their time, right? Because that's what it's about. So check those websites out. If you forgot them, okay, you can still just go to my website or on the app, and you can find them there, okay? Like, it'll be under the Shameless Ab Partners, or even in my link tree on my IG at Shameless Kai. And keep following and spreading the word, y'all, because I mean, it's hard out here for a pimp. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's not. But, you know, just keep living and thriving and doing your thug dizzle. And I catch y'all on the internet or in person or all that good shit. You know, wherever you see me at. Alright? Bye. Before I let you go away, let me say some shit real quick. Support black businesses. Yes, you with the ears. Support black businesses. Okay? We out here trying to thrive. You know what I'm saying? We out here doing our thug dizzle. Alright? You pay them white people prices all the time. And it don't even come from them. We know who it come from. It come from China. Okay? Support black owned businesses. Pay these black people prices, because you know black people as a culture, we bougie as fuck. Okay? We got lifestyles we building. We got legacies we building. We got shit we doing. Alright? And you know we the best. I'm in full support. Okay? So pay them prices. Don't be asking us for discounts. You should believe in us. You should support us. You should love us. Because we are one of you. Black folk, I'm talking to y'all. Okay? Support yourselves. Support us. Support me. Support we. Support us. Okay? So go to www.shamelessab.com. Okay? And buy some merch. And thank you in advance. And the people that bought some shit, I'm sending out your shit this weekend. Don't trip. It's coming. And thank you very much. Because y'all stay showing up. But show up for some other black businesses as well. Even your own. Okay? Rock your shit. I'm going to start rocking more of mine. Alright? And we in it to win it. That's all. I just wanted to say that. I ain't want to say nothing else. Bye.